Boy, girl. Listen to me, boy and girl. We have to go to Nassau, but when we go on a boat, I don't hear shut out y'all, okay? If you hear something, don't answer. I can't somebody dying, crying for help. Do you understand me? Good. Don't unfold the blindfold, okay? Keep it close. You hear me? Give me this phone. You know time to be on WhatsApp. Do I make myself clear? Hello? You there, me? Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's go. What? What you mean they won't go in the street? You flop huh, before we leave? Let's go, man. Let's go. I say, let's go. Bring your fucking ass. Yeah! Where's the stairs? Where's the stairs? Please don't take my children! Where you been? Huh? Where you been? You wanna die? You wanna die? I don't want your mom leave with me, cause she's the one who caused everybody dead. Listen to me, y'all. Y'all shut up in here today, okay? Shut up in here. Shh. You wanna die? Shut up, be quiet in here. You want to turn off this goddamn boat? Do you want to turn off this boat? Man, I'm making too much noise, man. You want him? You want him? Here, take him. Ah! Ah! My baby! My baby! My baby! My baby!
episode of Rogan Radio live from the friendly confines of Studio A here on the luxurious campus of Casa La Rogan in Lumberport, West by God, Virginia. Good evening to you.
Hello, hello. Let me tell you something. We're sitting here with the music playing and everything else.
Yeah.
And, of course, I've got Michelle sitting beside me, and she's just dancing away.
Oh, yeah.
And she's trying to get me to interact, but I don't think she remembers. I can't even chair dance.
Oh, no, you can chair dance pretty well. I can remember sitting in a chair, and you could went like this, and then you start doing this. Yeah. It was fantastic.
No, that's what you were doing on your rides to work.
Actually, I have pictures.
What was that, Chuck?
I have pictures.
This is Chad when I was chair dancing. This was back in the 60s. It was a crazy time. So I'd sit in a chair, and Chad came up. He had a lot of hair then. So I looked at him, and
it almost came to my ass.
Yeah, it most certainly did, and it actually did on your ass. So then,
it kind of blended in.
Anyway, we have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Want to welcome everybody, including our worldwide audience that are listening now from Portugal. We have some in Spain, some in Egypt, some in Germany, some in Switzerland, some over in England, some in France.
Swedish bikini.
Yeah. The Swedish bikini team?
Yeah.
You ever see those girls in the Swedish bikini team when they're out there in the middle of winter?
Yeah.
Alexa?
It's cold.
Alexa, what's the latest on the Swedish bikini team?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Michelle, obviously, she knows you guys are friends.
Yeah.
We have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. First of all, we're going to talk about this movie, Bird Box. Michelle and I finally watched that thing today. Have you seen it? Did you like it? We actually watched it. It was, and you know what? I tell you what, for all the stuff that people were giving about this movie, they either love it or they hate it. I can tell you this, I absolutely loved it. Loved it.
It's just different. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I don't see, if for somebody that actually sits down and watch this thing, how you do not like this movie, not sure. Not my problem, not sure. But there's a bigger controversy about this movie we'll get to a little bit later. And it concerns, out of all things, Michael Jackson.
Huh?
Last time
How in the hell can a Sandra Bullock movie?
How does a Sandra Bullock movie entitled Bird Box?
You know what? Have you noticed on Facebook, anyhow, all the memes that's because of this movie?
Yeah,
just like the what you just played there at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Facebook's full of them with these blindfolds
Yeah,
and I don't understand the
the
concept
Bird
of
Box
the movie.
challenge they're doing.
I do want to know, did you see where the kid wrecked his car doing the Bird Box challenge?
Yeah.
What is the Bird Box challenge?
Well,
Where they blindfold you.
Well, yeah. And this dipshit, he drove his car with a blindfold around and hit somebody else and killed somebody. Yeah, in a car.
See that. Stupid.
But you know what? You don't. That's just common sense. There, I call that Darwin, even though he killed somebody else, and that was unfortunate.
Listen, we were coming down Meadowbrook Road tonight, the wife and I, and there was a guy in front of us in a big old truck, and he was, I don't know what he was doing. He must have had a blind.
Sorry.
It wasn't you, Chad. But this guy was like this the whole week. We stayed way back.
I'll tell you what he was
but
doing.
we knew we were going to see an accident. He was just like this all over the road. It was terrifying.
Yeah, they've been everywhere lately.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. So anyway, we have that to talk about. But the biggest controversy about the movie, minus the movie itself, is what does Michael Jackson and Sandra Bullock have in common? We're going to tell you. We're going to make up your mind. This is where inquiring minds want to know. It's bizarre. And it all started on Twitter after this thing.
I'm not on Twitter.
And actually, I said it today when we were watching this movie. You want to just get to it now? Let's just do it right now.
Yeah, because I want to know
keep you out suspense. So anyway, I'm watching this movie, and I'm watching this movie, and I'm saying, listen, Sandra Bullock had something done, some kind of plastic surgery, I think, something. Because I said she looks a lot like Michael Jackson. Darren, put that picture up there, and you look at the difference between Sandra Bullock and Michael Jackson, and I'm telling you what, you would almost seem to know they're very close. It's bizarre. I don't think MJ's dead.
MJ is dead.
I don't think so. I think he's with Elvis. Yeah. I think he's with Elvis.
Well, that is his father-in-law, right?
And Walt Disney.
Tupac's alive.
And Teddy Williams.
He might be closer to
Now, look at that. Look up there at the screen, and you tell me it's not the same person.
Oh.
It looks just, they tell me they don't look alike. They absolutely look just alike, don't they?
They really are.
Yeah, it's
Did
great
you come
makeup
up with
artist.
this by yourself?
That's the truth. Listen, that is actually, you'll watch this movie and you'll be like waiting for MJ to pop out and start. Yeah, it looks just like him. It's insane. So watch the movie and see what you think.
Just had the same plastic surgeon.
I don't want to let anybody really know what the movie's about, but
No,
sorry about the scrolling thing there.
yeah, I mean, but I'm telling you what, it's kind of bizarre though. It's kind of bizarre, and I'm not even because Megan was on the phone. Yeah. Well, maybe she will be later on. We never know what's going on around this place. Wow. But it all started
it
on
too.
Twitter because somebody had some kind of a millennial, some kind of and they're watching this movie Bird Box, and they don't know Sandra Bullock's name. What they do know though is her as the Bird Box lady. So they said, "Man, is that Michael Jackson?" Which exploded because it went out there. People, the young kids thought it was funny because they didn't know who Sandra Bullock was either until it started getting to people around our age. Then all of a sudden it was like sharks in the water at that point. Then they started blasting on them. It's like, how do you know who Sandra Bullock is in this? Have you ever watched Speed?
Carol said, laughing my ass off, not even close. She just needs a steak or 3.
Listen, Sandra Bullock has always been one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
She, you know what? She's like that girl. She's just whatever she's in, she's just pretty.
Michelle, did you like the Bird Box?
Yeah,
I
she
did,
can just
yeah.
like roll out of bed, and she's pretty.
I just
Well,
think
have
she's
you-
kind of just normal.
Have you
Yeah,
seen?
yeah,
Have you seen
yeah.
that movie, The Proposal?
No,
Yeah.
She actually
What?
no, I've never seen it.
really
Who's in it? Who co-stars? Who's the guy?
Deadpool.
Reynolds.
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ronald Reynolds. I don't think I've seen it.
Let me tell you something. They showed her waking up in bed one time. She went ape shit. She was like, "Oh my god, gotta fix my hair, gotta smack my face." What the hell does smacking your face have to do with what your face looks like first thing in the morning?
Oh no.
Well, I don't know because face
don't
has a lot
know
to do with
either.
things because that's why you always carry a glad bag or not a glad bag, but like a flag, an American flag, or you have
paper
like a
bag.
paper bag over with you all the time because faces do matter.
Well, yeah,
Chad.
it does matter, but I don't understand the reason why a woman would literally scrunch her face up and smack herself in the cheeks.
Huh.
I don't either. But if you figure,
I
it
don't
out, let me
understand.
know.
Listen,
Anyway.
I don't understand why women take so long just to go to the mall. They'll spend 3 hours, to getting themselves ready to go to the mall for 45
I'm
minutes.
always ready before you.
I don't understand.
I
Well, yeah, you know why
don't
you're under. No, listen, we have this battle. It's a constant
It
battle
does
in the
not
house.
take me long to get ready.
And Chuck is always the
Ever.
last one. Whenever the girls are home or whatever, and we're going to go somewhere, right? We're going to go up to the mall per se. We're going to go out to eat. Well, Chuck's always the last one ready, and Chuck always gets a bunch of junk because of it.
I think I know why.
Well, you know what? What they're not understanding is, okay, they're ready to go. Chuck is not.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you would put how long it takes me to get ready in the time span of the 4 hours that we're getting ready to go to eat at McDonald's, then I'm 5 minutes out of that 4 hours.
If
So-
it's just you and I, though,
oh, if it's just you and I, yeah, we're good to go.
we get ready and
yeah.
split.
Yeah. Did you like Bird Box though?
I did like it.
I thought it was
I
really
did.
good too.
I liked it. It
I did
reminded
like
me
it.
of The Happening, just with a different ending.
Yeah.
It's almost
I
it's kind of
kept
it's almost in the same vein of the quiet place.
It sort of is. It sort of is. Yeah. I mean,
kept
it
an
is.
Open, I haven't seen The Quiet Place yet, but I kept an open mind.
Quiet Place is good.
yeah, real good.
I just kept an open
Sometimes
mind.
I wish this was the quiet place.
And I liked it.
It can be in about 5 minutes, buddy.
Yeah, crickets.
Let's try it for 5 seconds. 3, 2,
1. Quiet.
Okay.
Well,
Let's try it again. We're going to try to make this the quiet place. So they can do this thing for 2 hours when it was in a movie.
Okay.
And close your eyes. We will do the quiet place and we're going to do the Bird Box all at the same time.
The Quiet Bird Box.
The quiet Bird Box.
I mean,
In 5 seconds. In 3, 2, 1.
Tweet, tweet.
Obviously, it's not going to happen. Obviously, it's not going to
Well,
happen.
you can't keep birds quiet.
No, you can't. One thing that I do know, somebody else who can't keep quiet is Todd Hall. Today is Todd Hall's birthday. You hear him. We hear about him every single week. We're going to call Todd up right after we find out who's on the air with
which
us.
is going to be an incredible change because he's always calling us.
Yes, today we're going to call Todd Hall. We're
Hey,
going to sing him
Vicky,
happy birthday. Who's
Vicky
on
McBeck
here?
just joined on here. Vicky
Hello,
McBeck.
Vicky.
Deanna Roby's on here.
Hello, Deanna. Hello.
Bob Collins. Hi,
Todd
Bob.
doesn't take our calls.
Cindy Hardman is on here.
Hello,
Crystal,
Cindy.
hi,
She's
Crystal
not in the house
Lewis.
tonight.
Donnie Stonebreaker.
Crystal.
Hello, Donnie.
Yeah,
I
I
saw
just saw
Pam on
Donnie,
there.
I saw
I saw
Comment.
Molly on there.
Comment so we know you're here.
Yeah, let us know. We'll give you a shout out.
Dr. Hall.
Dr. Hall.
Did we say Joyce Maxwell?
Joyce,
Joyce
down
Maxwell.
in Florida.
What better than to hear your name across the radio?
Yeah.
Spencer Levi Cornell.
Worldwide.
Johnny Stonebreaker.
Once again, you can check out the podcast tomorrow. It's going to be released audio-wise, and you can get that on Stitcher, iTunes.
Which is, a lot of times is the best way to listen to this show.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would much rather listen to it because you hear a lot more. Your ears are focused. You don't have all your other senses. You don't have your eyes and ears at the same time looking at it. And there's a lot of funny
It's
stuff
kind of like
that we
Bird
don't.
Box.
Bird Box challenge.
Absolutely, it is.
I
It
wondered
is.
what the profile pic of Dina Roby has said. I brought it up and says, pick unavailable due to government shutdown.
Well, the furlough is getting bad with the government shutdown because one thing that happened last night is we had snow around here. And one thing that I didn't see was Corey Hagan doing a snow report. So it's getting bad when Corey Hagan has not been able to do his snow weather reports because of government cutbacks.
I thought
because
that was
of
all
government being shut down.
pro bono stuff. He didn't get paid for all that anyhow, did he? He
Well,
did
I
that
don't
because
know.
it was fun. What's up? Christopher Griffith is on here. R. Griffith.
Very nice.
He says, hey there.
Kuczynski.
Did you just say you had the shitsky?
Rebecca Pushinsky.
Hello, Rebecca. All right, let's go ahead and call Todd. Plug that thing in.
Deanna Roby's on here.
Yeah, we said that like
oh,
three
you just
times.
said that. I'm sorry.
We're going to call Todd Hall up right now.
Yeah,
Pay attention.
We talk to Todd Hall about once every, I don't know, 6 months, perhaps. And we're going to call Todd Hall up right now after I pull his name. Do you have Todd Hall on your phone, Jimmy?
No.
Okay, well, go ahead and plug that baby in there. We're going to call Todd up. Or Todd's going to call us.
Yeah.
Easy or, let's see. Todd? Hey, Todd.
Yo.
Well, happy birthday, brother.
Man, Amy.
Happy birthday.
Hey,
Thank
Wayneworth.
Thank you.
How old are you turning, Todd?
I am 46.
46, man. You don't look a day over 49. I'm telling you what, you've kept your age well. Like the before and after picture. Did you put one of those on Facebook yet?
No, and I didn't read my post where I said I'm not going to post a picture where I said I look just the same. I don't look any different except for I'm bald and I got 4 tattoos.
Yeah, that's not different at all.
Yeah. Not a bit.
What'd you do for your birthday today, Todd? Anything important? Anything special?
Well, I went to my mom's and I got me a cake from the cookie company
Oh, yeah.
place and
Yum.
KFC and
Man, you did good then for yourself. Tell me about this new tattoo you
got
have,
me a
though.
little.
Tell me about this new tattoo. What are you watching, the football game or some shit? You watching the football game right now?
Yeah.
Who's winning?
The Saints.
Okay.
Go marching in.
They're playing New England, right?
No, they're playing
No, they're
Philly.
playing Eagles.
Oh, the Eagles. Oh.
And the Eagles
Yeah,
was
yeah,
up
yeah.
when we were at Outback.
My
so-
new tattoo. My new tattoo is like a 45. Is a 45-pound weight plate that I got, and it says today I lift.
Oh, very nice.
I like that. Where'd you get that? Where's
And
that?
it has a little donut over top of the eye as an inside joke
Oh,
because
yeah.
of my niece.
Oh,
She said.
Well,
she
don't
made-
tell it. It's
She
inside.
thought it was gonna look like. She thought it was gonna look like a donut, my tattoo. So I brought it up to the tattoo artist. I said, you ought to put a donut on top of the eye.
Right.
And here he did. And he.
Well, it's
Hey,
nice.
it's-
It's
and it
nice
looks
to
kinda
have
cool
things
and
like
funny at
that
the
to
same time.
incorporate with your face.
Hey, Todd, where'd you get that tattoo at, buddy? Where's it at?
I got it on my right forearm on my arm.
Oh, very nice. Right on your arm. All right.
Yeah, my forearm. Yeah.
Who put it on there for you?
Thinking it?
Thinking Ink?
Yeah. No, over there at Dermodoodles at Richard Seibert.
Oh, very nice. Well, listen, it is your birthday. You turned 46 today, and we're going to have a very special birthday song sang to you by the one and the only, the very talented and the very lovely
No, I don't even have a voice.
Bruce Takahashi, State
Thank
from
you.
Tokyo, Japan.
Guy. Are you ready for this, Todd Hall?
And we're going to sing along, but Bruce is going to start us, Todd. You ready? You
Yeah.
ready for this birthday message?
All right.
All right. Go ahead, Bruce. Start it out.
Happy birthday.
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Todd. Listen, man, you are the biggest stud I've ever seen in my life, even though you have 4 tattoos and you have a little bit less hair, but you still lift. It's lift. It's Todd Hall from Fairmont, West by God, Virginia. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Todd Hall.
Thank you.
All right, man. We'll get back to watching the Saints.
I am.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
What a party.
All right.
See
That
you,
was
Todd
a
Hall.
party.
Bye-bye,
My
Todd
goodness,
Hall.
that guy's always fun to talk to. You know what?
I like Todd Hall. That guy's a donut.
I tell you, you never know what's going to come out of Todd's mouth, and I love it. I love it.
I wonder what kind of donut that was. Was it like a cream filled donut, an eclair, a apple
Jimmy just
fritter?
called 911, so be expecting
I wonder-
authorities here soon.
I wonder if it was the same one that they always had in the Simpsons cartoons.
Oh yeah,
with
with
the
all
pink
the little-
frosting
yeah.
and the
Oh,
sprinkles.
come on, Cassie. I was going to say hi, and then she had to say something about the stupid Patriots.
Yeah.
Did the
who
Patriots
I'm
win?
not saying hi.
Did the
now.
Patriots win?
Patriots
cares?
won. They
Yes!
beat Dallas.
Yeah, they beat Dallas. Well, hell, who can't beat Dallas?
No, Patriots was playing the Chargers.
Well, shit, I don't know. I'm just a big fan. Listen, I've said it once and I'll say it again. When you are a fan of the Patriots, you don't worry about these preschool, these pre-games, these pre-season games. You just wait for the Super Bowl because that's the only game that matters. Patriots are in it basically every year. And then, like again this year, we'll have a Super Bowl party and we'll watch the Patriots probably lose. To
I don't know if I can watch that or not. That's on my wife's birthday.
February 3rd?
Yeah.
Mm.
Might be doing the birthday thing. So you think we could call the...
Is she going to get the same thing that
Yeah, you
you're
may
supposed
be
to
able
get for your birthday?
You may be.
Nothing.
Listen, one thing that's going to really irritate me is if you guys don't come up here for the Super Bowl because we all went through this expense of getting our birthday suits specifically buffed and shined for Vicky's special day.
Ooh.
I'll tell you what. I'll just send her up.
Well, you may be able to call and get the Super Bowl changed.
I was thinking about doing that.
That's what I think you should
Yeah,
do.
I mean, they would do it for you.
I think they would.
Just tell them who you are.
I don't think they'd do it for you. I think they'd do it because they're afraid of Vicky.
Yeah. Well,
well.
they didn't have every reason to be.
Hey, want to send a very special big shout out to Bill Layton. Hello, Bill. What's
Bill
going
Layton?
on, brother? Yeah.
I want a special shout out to Donnie Stonebreaker because he inspected my
Too
daughter's
bad.
car. When was it? Friday? You know that thing?
He inspects all of our cars.
I know, but it was from October. This thing was a little late. I was a little late on this.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah, just a little.
New Year's resolution to get my car inspected from last year.
Yeah, I blame it all on my daughter. It was my daughter's car. It wasn't my car.
Hey, we doing any live videos on the Super Bowl or no?
You know what? We should. Yeah, why don't we do that? You want to do you
Remember,
want
it's
to
a
do
work night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
what?
stinks.
Yeah, it's
Well,
Not for us, is it?
Well, it is for me anymore. Yeah, but no, it shouldn't
for
be.
me.
We can all just call in sick.
No, can't do that.
Nope.
I'll never get my job as a janitor.
Well, you know what? Keep trying.
Yeah, you did
buddy.
finally put that paperwork in.
I put that paperwork in. I may not this time
Did
next
you
year.
finally put it in?
Yeah, this time next year I may not be a mailman.
Uh-oh.
Man, I tell you what.
Because we have the
Whatever.
possibility of 3 people retiring in the
Yeah,
maintenance
I know.
I
But I don't want to go downtown. I want to be with you guys.
I think Vicky's a janitor because she has to deal with all your shit.
Yeah, she's a janitor. You should see her little work belt.
I'm still dealing with this.
If I
Listen.
if I become a janitor, do I get one of those carts like my very own janitor cart?
Yeah.
When
really?
you
gender
like
cart?
my janitor
Did
cart,
you say
Yeah.
gender cart?
not gender.
Yeah, your gender
It
course.
says gender card.
my
Your gender cart?
Well, we have
That's a big question mark on it.
we like to call that. We have a very special geriatric cart for you. Very special.
It's already
geriatric
got the
cart.
4-prong cane and
I
everything.
appreciate that.
We always were thinking about
Because,
you.
with all this crap of the back 10 years ago or when you first came on Facebook and
I
what you
know.
are
You
now.
saw that picture?
Oh, my God.
You know
look
what?
right.
And I'm going to say
look
this.
like
and
hell, don't I? Look
Listen,
like hell.
I'm not one to normally bust on people. Well, I do it all the time, kind of, but in private. But I've seen some of these before and after things. I'm like, listen, if you saw what you looked like 10 years ago. You see what you look like today. If you think you look better, well, you're wrong.
No,
You're wrong.
And then,
No, you
and
don't.
then if you thought you looked good 10 years ago, you're really wrong.
I don't want to look. That's why I haven't done it because I don't even want to.
Did you do it, Chuck?
No, hell no, I'm not putting that on there.
I
Why
broke
not?
down and did
Nah.
it.
You did it? Oh yeah, I saw Darren's
But
on
it's
there.
not that old. I'm like, most people's are like 10-year-old. And unless you're like
It's not
Todd,
that I
you
don't-
don't really change
See,
that
I have
much.
one of these posts that are going to be ongoing, and it's going to be like, say, 10 years from now. It's going to be like one of these 10 years ago, same kind of thing, except it'll be like a picture of me going like this, and the next picture of me is when I'm going into the dirt, because you know what?
You'll see a
We're
tombstone.
getting up to the age now. We're getting to the age. It's kind of scary, actually.
You're getting up to the age.
Well, yeah. I mean, you talk about being 50, and I'm thinking, wow, I've only got about another 100 years to live, and I'm thinking, wow, this is going to come quick, man.
Yeah, I crossed
Kinda
over. I
quick.
crossed over the 50 mark.
Yeah, I'd never know.
Really? Darren.
That-
You
yeah,
are
not too long ago.
old, man.
Oh shit.
Godfather. Darren's the Godfather.
Yeah, the Godfather.
Well, he
Darren.
used to be when he used to have his raspy voice. But he
Yeah,
doesn't
after I
have
had my
that
surgery, I don't have it anymore.
What's one thing? So talking about getting the inspection sticker, is anybody out there having problems writing 2019 yet? 'Cause
Yep.
one-
Yep. I'm
Yeah, I
writing
do.
2018 on
I
that.
do that.
I usually do, but not yet.
Well, I haven't paid any bills yet, so I haven't had to
Yeah.
worry about it.
Yeah, my wife.
Government
does
shut down. You don't have to.
Yeah, you know, what, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But that's kind of interesting because it's kind of funny how you get yourself in such a routine that it's
12
something as
months?
simple as
For
changing.
365 days, yeah.
Yeah,
That's almost a
That's
year.
a long time.
it's almost a year.
Takes like first 3 months of every year to get used to that year.
That first quarter, you're still stuck in the last quarter. Get it? You know.
Yeah.
As you can tell, D-Mac's not here tonight. D-Mac, he had a
He's
previous
here in-
obligation with
he's
the
here
in spirit. Yeah, he's with they had a little league meeting tonight, which I'm sure that's going to be very interesting coming
Oh,
up
it looks
this in
like
the spring.
Michelle
there.
sharing all his beers with
I was gonna say, it looks like in honor of Derek's absence,
Yeah.
she
You
went
know
ahead and
what?
lined up 4 beers.
Wow.
I thought I'll just drink his too.
Good thinking. You know what I love? You're a thinker. You're a
Yeah,
thinker.
Michelle, we love her. I gotta tell Chuck. I told Chuck. Well, I listened to the last episode. I usually listen to it when I'm carrying her out. And I
Yeah.
told Chuck, I said, the best part of that was you.
Oh, Lord.
I told Chuck, I said, she is hilarious.
Let me tell you the funniest thing, and I listened to it 10,000 times on this last episode, was when we had Megan call in. And there was that issue of either talking, and we had this stand-up comedian act going on. But all I hear out of somebody, which I think it was Jimmy, when we're talking about putting it into the ear, and all I hear, you're D-U-M dumb. Listen, I rewound that thing. I had to rewind that thing and listen to it because, nobody knows the relationship that Megan has us. These people around the world are listening to this stuff, and even maybe on the show here now watching this live, they're thinking, listen, she's from the Marion County Child Advocacy Office, and they're saying, you D-U-M dumb. It's hilarious, man.
That's me and Haley do that all the time. Like,
oh, yeah.
Haley laughs because I'll do that. She'll do something, and I'll go, "You're D-U-M dumb."
And by the way, speaking of that, it's coming up on January 19th there in
Next
Marion
Saturday.
County. Yeah,
Oh, yes,
next Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah, so be looking for that.
And
We'll put a post up for that.
You can check their website, see if there's still tickets.
Yeah, there might not be. There might
Yeah,
not be.
because I know there was just.
We'd call Megan to find out, but we'll just go ahead and wait till next week.
Oh, and by the way, in case you forgot, next Monday is Martin Luther King Day, so all government workers will not be working that day.
Yeah, even if they're supposed to be working, they're not working.
Right. So
Everything-
if you work for the
Whether they're
government,
getting
don't go to work.
paid or not, they're not going to be working.
Ah, that's horrible. My neighbors up here, that would suck to go to work and not be getting paid good work. Now, do they
This
get?
past weekend was the first weekend that no one got paid in the government.
I mean, like no checks were sent out.
No
Now,
checks.
will they get like back paid for?
Depends.
be.
Like people that worked are supposed to get back paid.
Right.
The people that don't work, that I guess are not considered essential. Congress has to vote on whether or not they get paid. Now, supposedly they already did say they
okay.
would get paid, but
Now, all the members in Congress, are they still getting paid?
yeah,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
of course they do.
See, bullshit.
See, I think if you need to just nobody gets paid.
Yeah.
Nobody in Congress, nobody in the government up in the upper echelon gets paid,
No.
and then we'll see how fast it goes.
Yeah, see how quick they resolve
Well,
their
speak-
issues.
I think
Listen.
our president's not drawing a paycheck anyway.
But I'm
I
gonna
don't
say
think
that
I don't think
matters
he
to
ever
him.
has, yeah.
But listen, here's what I'm going to say. There's a lot of things I would like to say, but I would offend too many people probably
No,
on both sides
sure.
of the fence.
No.
No,
Yeah.
So I'm just not going to. I'm just not going to.
Yeah.
But now, to know the Constitution is this, because I see most people on Facebook blaming Trump, and they blame Trump over the wall. However,
He's doing what he said he'd do.
but if you know the Constitution, if you had enough votes in Congress, that could override a veto. The president's irrelevant. So what you need to do as states in the Congress is figure out a bill that is going to get a majority that's not going to be on party lines, because that tells me this is nothing but politics, because they
Oh,
can't
absolutely.
they can't get
Exactly
enough
right.
they can't
Yeah,
get
it is.
and it's all party lines on both of them, that they can't get enough votes to override a presidential veto, because Trump, even though he is a Republican, he's not really a Republican. He's Trump is Trump. That's his own party.
Yeah.
And that's just everybody. I think everybody can establish that. But if you want to blame somebody, blame the people whose job it is to pass the budget and make them
Exactly.
compromise and do their job according to the Constitution, and don't blame anybody else. The problem that the states have is that they've given too much power to the federal government.
Yep.
The federal government's problem is they've tried to pass the buck on to the president, and they've given that guy too much power, the office anyhow. So it's easy to sit back and bitch because nobody wants to take responsibility for it. The Constitution says their job is to pass a budget, get a majority, come together, sit around, burn the midnight oil like you're electing a pope, and figure it out. And if you get enough votes, you don't even have to worry about the president.
That's the common consensus around this nation today, is that everybody wants to win the war, but nobody wants to fight the battles.
Well, it's just a matter of
That's the way it is right
and
now.
there's just
And
so
all
much
over the country.
there's just so much stuff that's diluting the fact of how things are. I don't know if people aren't taught that. I just don't know. But you have to hold
Look at
just
this
hold.
millennial generation. They really don't know the Constitution.
No, I don't think a lot of people really do, honestly. But
I'm going to be flat out honest. I am quite a bit ignorant as far as the Constitution is concerned. However, there is a lack of common sense between our generation and maybe the generation after or after that one. It's just one of them things that the common sense factor has been taken way out of it.
Yes.
On top of the ignorance of the Constitution, and that's where you have some of the situations that we've got going on, like the Bird Box Challenge.
Yeah.
It all trickles down to crap
Those
like
are
that.
voters.
right. Right.
Yeah, that's our future right there.
Yeah, I got an idea about blindfold and drive down.
But that's
the road.
that. We won't get into. We try to stay off of
And
that.
after get home,
We keep the
Tide
politics
Pods.
off the show because you're going to offend somebody. That's whenever you talk politics,
Yeah.
there's going to be 50% like you, 50% that hate you. That's why we don't
Exactly.
do it.
Yep.
They're
That's why
all
we
wrong.
don't.
They're all dumb
That's
and
dumb.
whatever.
Yeah.
No,
D-U-M
They're
dumb.
all D-U-M
Hey, I
dumb.
just got a text. We're going to do a top 10 list, but guess just got a text from Philadelphia. We're going to call up to Philadelphia here in a second. Talk to Melissa Rector. She's going to be coming to town at the Robinson
Yeah.
Grand.
Hey, we got tickets
Rector?
for that. Woo! The wife and I are going to go see that on the 26th.
Yeah, the Crush Dance Company from Philadelphia is going to be coming down and performing at the Robinson Grand. We're going to have Melissa on the phone. She's from Shinson, as you know. We're going to talk to her very soon. She's like an enigma. She comes around every so often. The last time I actually saw Melissa is when we had our what do you call that, reunion party?
Class reunion?
I think it was like the 30th anniversary or whatever reunion party from graduating high school. Because I'm like 75 now. It's pretty impressive.
Man, you look like you're 70.
Yeah, why don't you kiss my ass?
Oh, I'll take all week.
Anyway, we have a nice top 10 list for you. This top 10 list,
Oh,
these are the top 10 funniest insults.
And thank you for finding this too, Chuck. Let's scroll down
Since
to
you
number
couldn't.
10 and start from number 10, shall we?
Okay, let's start at number 10. I'll go ahead. No, listen.
10?
We're going to go at number 10. Your mama's so ugly, when she looked in the mirror, her reflection walked away.
Number 9. Oh my God, look at you. Anyone else hurt in this accident?
Nice.
Jimmy?
Number 8. You married Barney.
You get it, Barney.
Oh, number 7. This is a good one, Michelle.
I love Barney.
Oh, Barney was great.
Your dad's condom is bigger than your personality.
Wow.
Oh, ouch. And this is one of the top 10 insults. This is a great one for Chad. At number 6 of the insults.
Number 6 is dumbass.
Nice.
D-U-M.
Number 5, Mercy, you want to go ahead and do number 5?
Number 5. The only way you'll ever get laid is if you crawl up chicken's ass and wait.
The only way you'll ever get laid is if you crawl up a chicken's ass and wait. That's pretty nice. That's a pretty good ending. At number 4, Darren, do you have that? It's right there on the screen.
Number 4, we can always tell when you are lying. Your lips move.
Nice. Once again, the top 10 insults. Feel free to use these if you'd like to. At number 3, hey, I looked up a hobo in the dictionary, and the definition was you.
Number 2 of the top 10 insults. Roses are red, violets are blue. God made me pretty. What happened to you?
And the number 1 reason. Jimmy, you want to do this?
Sure. Number 1 is, you're so poor, I saw you kicking a can across the street. I asked you what you were doing. You said moving.
Nice. That's a nice big insult. That's
Very
a
nice.
big
I got to
insult.
save this top 10 list page.
That's good. Let's go ahead and call up here. Go ahead and plug this phone back in. We already talked to Todd Hall. And once again, if you are listening to or watching the video,
Why don't we just have someone tell us they want us to call?
yeah, we'll go ahead and if you you done yeah, just go ahead and call Melissa.
Amber Gano jumped on here.
Hello, Amber.
Amber Gano.
All right, we're calling Philadelphia right now.
Amber Gano.
This is Melissa. She's got class.
Quiet room. Tweet, tweet.
Hello.
Hello, Melissa.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, listen,
How are you?
this is John Stewart from Swiper Sweepstakes, and we're here to ask you 3 questions. If you get all 3 questions right, you get a brand new 2007 C7 Corvette straight from Bowling Green. Are you ready?
What?
Dang
You
it.
know what? You should have been on the radio, Chuck. You got that. You're good.
Dang it.
What is happening?
Nothing. Hey, tell us what's happening. Now, first of all, tell me what you did today. Did you have a Philly cheesesteak by chance?
No, I did not.
Did
No.
No.
I haven't had a cheesesteak in quite a while.
Okay. Are you watching the Eagles get beat right now?
No, I'm keeping up with it, but I had a showcase tonight, so I couldn't really watch the game.
Okay. Explain,
But we're losing.
What's the? Tell me about the showcase. What's that all about?
We do artist showcase like every other month at the studio. We have a black box theater, and people submit their choreography, and we just choose people, around just in the area, to
Yeah.
perform. And my kids usually perform too, so it's fun.
Hey, listen. Explain.
So I got to do lights tonight. So I
Oh,
got to do
did you
lights.
now?
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
that's
First of
fun.
all, explain everybody exactly what you're doing now in life. I find it very interesting, but I'm not going to talk for you. That way, you could actually get, say the word out, which we're going to lead to when you guys come down from Philly and visit Clarksburg.
What? Okay, I'm doing in my life right now?
What's your job? What do you do as far as dance goes?
I rehearse every day, Monday through Friday, from 10 in the morning until 4.
Wow.
And then I usually teach class afterwards, and I, work with my youth ensemble on Sundays for 4 or 5 hours. So I teach a lot. I rehearse a lot. I take class. I teach class. And then with the company, we go on tour, usually like at least 28 shows, through a season.
Right.
So we get to travel a lot. We were in Arizona not too long ago at this wonderful ranch for 2 weeks.
I saw that. It looked like
it was
a good
really
time.
cool. That was so amazing. It was like probably my favorite trip so far, but this year anyway. And then we were in Mexico. Yeah, so we get to travel a lot.
Yeah, it sounds like you're having a pretty good time with things.
What company is it?
Yeah,
Melissa?
we do.
For those that
I'm
don't
sorry?
know, what company is it? What dance company? What's the name of it?
It's Koresh Dance Company.
Okay.
My director is from Israel, and I met him when I was in college at University of the Arts in Philadelphia, and he started a company when I was in school back in 1991, a long time ago. So I've been with him from the very beginning, since the company started, and
awesome.
Yeah, so.
And you guys,
it's really amazing.
Now, explain to me what's going to happen when you guys come back to Clarksburg, or come down to Clarksburg. This will be the first time down here.
Yeah, so the whole entire time I've been with this company, which is, 28 years at least, we've never performed in West Virginia. So when I found out the Robinson Grand was being renovated, Mr. Wyatt from band.
I
somehow I knew he was involved with that or on the board or something. And so I reached out to him, and our company manager reached out. I was like, I definitely want to get us there. So we worked it out, and we're coming down. So finally, so when we're there, we have a couple of outreach programs where they'll bus grade school kids and middle school kids to the theater. And we do lecture demonstrations. It's like styles of dance, and we perform a little bit for them. We have master classes that we'll be teaching at some of the studios around the area, and then we perform on Saturday.
The 26th,
exciting.
right? Yeah, Saturday the 26th.
Yes.
Wow.
It's going to be up. No, I haven't been to the Robinson Grand since they've renovated this thing. The last time
you haven't been there yet?
No.
Yeah, I'm very anxious to see
I've
this
been
place.
to older one.
The
it
last
was in the old one years ago.
Melissa, the last time I was at the Robinson Grand, I watched Empire Strikes Back there. That's how long it's been.
Oh my gosh, that was a long time.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Well, that was the Robinson Grand was the first stage I ever performed on when I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I performed there a lot until I was like 18. So it's really pretty cool to be going back there. So I'm excited to see the theater and what they've done with it.
So it's almost like you're coming home then.
It's kind of
coming home to your opening stage.
Going full circle.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's pretty wild. It's pretty trippy. It's kind of
no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I'm like,
Once again, we're talking to Melissa Rector. She's up in Philadelphia with the Koresh Dance Company. They're coming down to Clarksburg to perform at the Robinson Grand, newly renovated Robinson Grand. It's going to be January 26th from it starts 7:30 to 9:30. Now, you guys going to be in town all day, or are you going to be in town a couple days? Is there like a rehearsal?
We get in on Thursday, and Friday I'm sure we have like the lecture demonstrations and master classes, and then Saturday we have another master class, and then we have the show. I think the show starts at 7:30.
7:30, yeah.
I think. Don't quote me on that.
Hey, listen, you just show up. You just do what you're told, all right?
I'm sorry?
You just do what you're told.
Yeah, I just do what I.
No, actually, Melissa, she might be the one who's telling.
I go day by day.
You might be. I think she's the boss, buddy.
Hey, because we go back a good many years, Melissa, what is the chance? Now, I'm going to ask a favor. Because you're a professional dancer. What are the chances? No, I don't want to ruin this thing. I'm talking about
Chuck.
maybe right about 7:20, 7:25.
You might
right
wanna
before the
hang
main
up.
show begins.
Hang up right now, Melissa.
One thing I've always wanted to do is
What?
one thing.
It's hard to hear. I'm sorry.
One thing that I've always wanted to do, and I'm going to ask you a favor. I've always wanted to put on a pair of these ballerina pants.
Oh God.
Yeah, and I want to do some.
No, you don't.
I want to do some river dancing on that stage to warm everybody up before the show.
He's done it before.
You want to warm up the company before we dance?
But I want to warm up the crowd with my river dancing.
Oh.
Hey, Melissa.
Okay, we can see if that can happen. I'm not sure, Chuck.
No, listen, we'll just keep that. We'll just keep.
I don't think I want to see you in tights, though.
No, you don't.
No.
Have you ever seen Chuck's river dancing?
Melissa.
No, I have not.
Oh,
Does he really do
Okay,
this?
well, it's on social media.
Yeah,
You
I'll
wanna
have
look
to.
it up.
Oh,
We'll have
okay.
to post that. We'll have to post that. Yeah, it is.
It's nice to meet you, Michelle, through the phone.
Yes, you
Finally.
too. I hope I get to meet you in person.
I know. No, I'll get to see you.
Yes,
For sure.
absolutely.
Chuck is the reason she moved away.
Yeah. But listen, we're
The
very.
what?
Jimmy said I was the reason that you moved away.
Chuck helped me out a lot in high school with my recital. My first recital I had there.
Yeah.
He did all my music for me. He cut my music for me. It was awesome.
Good times,
Wow.
huh?
Yeah.
Hey,
Definitely.
are you? I
Back
mean,
in the
so
day.
how do you like Philadelphia? Because we've talked before, and I go to New York City all the time, but Philadelphia is one of these cities for whatever reason it kind of intimidates me a little bit. Now,
Really?
yeah, it does because I
And
think
New York doesn't?
No, that's what I mean. I think it's because I've never been there because they're not that far away. I mean, you're only a half hour away and maybe an hour away from New York in Philadelphia.
It depends. Yeah, well, it depends on traffic, but it could be an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah, so it's relatively close. I mean, are you really at home in Philadelphia, big city and stuff? It's pretty neat, isn't it?
Yeah, I love Philly. But it doesn't feel like a big city to me, though. No, I mean, it's grown a lot, tons of restaurants, and I don't know. I do feel like people in Philly are sometimes a little mean compared to people in New York. Yes. I don't know. Maybe I'm just.
Well,
maybe I'm. Philly's just more hardcore than what New York is.
Well,
they can be a little rough.
They've
but,
had
but no, I love
harder.
Philly.
In Philadelphia,
yeah.
In Philadelphia, if you remember right, at a football game, they did get a bunch of snowballs and blast Santa with snowballs. So, it is a hardcore place.
Philly can be crazy.
It is
they're
place.
pretty, well, especially when it comes to sports and all that stuff.
Yeah, baseball.
They're pretty crazy.
Yeah. And the Flyers and everything. Hey, Melissa, nice talking to you. You just got home. We're not going to keep you all night, but I really super appreciate you calling us. Or we, answering our phone call and all that. Can't wait to see you.
Oh yeah, you surprised me. I didn't know it was gonna be on the radio.
Yeah, well, you know how it goes sometimes. Yeah, listen, you're worldwide right now. You never know. You might have somebody from the Swedish bikini team because I know they're listening right now. From somebody from Sweden fly internationally just to watch this show. You never know. Listen, I am just waiting for some psycho from around the world to show up at the house sometime. And I'll be like, who are you? And he'll be like, Franz, and I'm here to kick your ass. I'm just waiting for that day. I'm waiting for that day.
We'll put up all the links and everything.
You're
Melissa,
crazy. You're crazy.
For your so everybody can know how to get tickets and what time and.
Once again, the Caress Dance Company coming in, performing January 26th, starting at 7:30. You can get your tickets. It's going to be at the Robinson Grand there in Clarksburg, newly renovated. Fantastic.
Yes.
Melissa.
Yes.
We'll talk to you soon.
Yes. Yeah, I'll be seeing you soon. Thank you so much.
Right on. We'll talk to you.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Melissa Rector up from Philadelphia. Fantastic. And while we wait for our next transition until how the world's going to end, we're going to give Todd a little chance to do some James Brown.
Yeah, give me a titty. Get up and touch myself. Out. Woo. Yeah. 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 Give me a tail. You tail. Jump. Just sit there. Jump. Put you on. Put ya. Hey. Put ya. Ow. Ciao, pussy.
Listen. Listen.
What was that?
What?
What did you say? Ha!
What do you think?
Say it again. I'll kick your ass.
Peace, Jimmy Whiz.
So listen to this. Listen to this. Okay, listen.
Did you say hands? Hey, ha! Two times.
Touch myself.
Oh, shit. Dang.
This does sound like a little James Brown music, though. That guy had some pretty fancy footwork.
Yeah, he did.
Well, not anymore.
He did.
But he sure did. That guy could move for an old man.
Well, yeah, he's always been good. He was very popular.
Oh, no, absolutely. I saw today on Facebook, actually, was it, I don't know, I'm not going to say it was the last World War II veteran. 112 years old, World War II veteran just died today.
Can you spell veteran, by the way?
No.
No, I know how you spell veteran, but can you spell veteran?
I can't.
Is that like V-E-T-R-I-N?
You say potato, I say
veteran?
potato. All right, you say tomato, I say
V-E-T-E-R-A-N.
Potato. Who says potato?
I say potato.
Who says tomatoes?
You think you went dumb?
I'd like to get me some potatoes and tomatoes.
Chuck says aunt, I said aunt.
You said he was 112?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be World War One?
No, I said
no. You said 102, didn't you?
No, I said 112.
112.
Depending on how long he went, depending on how old he was when he went in. The oldest living vet could have been 112. Say if he was 30. Listen, I can't do math right now, man. I've been drinking Miller Lite and a bunch of kerosene, smelling Todd's axe. Let me ask you a question. Why do you smell so good? Woo!
Get on, Tim. Get on, yeah.
So what's the deal with NASA?
Okay. Have you ever thought about this? I want to let you listen to this. We've had this conversation at nauseum about all of these asteroids that are supposed asteroids that are going to kill.
Headed straight for Uranus.
And so my thought was
today, tune in.
Tune in today as you can see an asteroid
Head
straight for your
Chuck's anus.
There is no planet called Chuck's anus. It's Uranus.
Oh, excuse me.
Watch an asteroid head for Michelle's anus.
I just got all caught up in it. There is no planet called Michelle's anus. It's Uranus.
Anyhow, tomorrow there's a big asteroid. It's going to daggone well. If it would have hit the Earth, it would kill everybody. It's called, as I wrote it down, somewhere AG3, 2019 AG3. Now, listen, they're getting actually really good. They just spotted this thing last year, actually December 18th, 2018, not like a year ago. 460 feet long. This thing's big. And if it would hit the Earth tomorrow, mind you, it would kill everybody on the planet. Well, they're finding these things out sooner or later. So my theory has always been, if they know something's going to hit the Earth,
you'll never know.
They're never going to tell you because it would cause instant pandemonium. Well, just so happens, I might be wrong. Now, I want you to listen to this. This is a scientist. Her name, Michelle Fowler.
Oh, yeah, she looks like a scientist.
From NASA. Look at her. I've been drinking.
Yeah.
I've been drinking.
You am dumb.
Let me put a
Listen.
I'm going to tell you
this is Michelle Fowler.
happen
She's a NASA
tomorrow.
scientist. Actually, she's a doctor, mind you. She's the assistant communication director down there, and she's going to tell you something. And I want your reaction to this. She looks like she already knows this thing's going to hit, so she hit the booze a little bit early. No offense, but listen to what she has to say.
I remember back, I think it was in 2012, there was this idea that the Mayan apocalypse was going to come, that the world was going to end. It was all over the news. And I actually got a phone call from somebody. I was sitting at my desk at NASA, and somebody asked me the question, is the world going to end next week? And I thought about that because, of course, we knew that the world was not going to end. There was nothing happening astronomically that we could tell. But I realized this person didn't think of me as an actual human being, that if I knew the world was going to end in a week, I would be at work at my desk. I don't think so. The day you have all the scientists buy up all the great wine and max out their credit cards and disappear, then you might want to worry. But even that's not how we work. We are people.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, she's saying basically if they know something's going to happen, they would absolutely tell you because one of the reasons why no one would show up for work. Well, just so happens this thing's going to hit tomorrow. What's happening now that you would never suspect because there's a government furlough going on right now. See what I mean? So they're not going to be at work tomorrow, which you would never know. They're out buying all the wine. That's why they had this big snowstorm over the weekend because everybody cleared out all the ice. That's a conspiracy theory. I just made up.
What would be the difference either way, though? Even if if we're all going to die, who gives a crap if pandemonium's for a day or two or a month?
Well,
who cares?
Yeah, wherever you go, it's gonna go.
But I think to keep order involved, though, just to keep order involved, there would be no reason other than you just didn't want it just for the last 2 days of your life. You would just want to go on. If it was me, I would just want to go to work and not know anything's going to happen, and then bang, I'm dead.
Boom. Brian
You know what
Boyle
I mean?
said no asteroid can kill her mullet.
Listen, she looks like she's been into that wine she was talking about. But anyway, this thing's going to maybe hit tomorrow.
So what's the size?
It's
of
going to it's 460 feet, and it's going to come in Earth's orbit.
What? How big is it? Give me a
460 feet.
Don't
Well,
ask
300.
him how big it is.
300 feet of
He
football
will
field.
exaggerate.
Football field and a half.
a football field and a half.
Yeah, going about I don't know.
Say what's
60,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of it would disintegrate before it actually hits and
That's
explodes.
something that big?
Probably not a lot.
Yeah, probably
Really?
not.
Because that's the
And
whole
also
reason why
depends
a
on
lot of them.
It'll burn
the
down
makeup,
about what, 1/3?
You know,
Well,
as
they
far
were-
as what metals and stuff.
But
do.
you know, like they had that one up in Siberia a couple years ago
Yeah,
that just caused that sonic boom, and
Yeah.
that thing was about the size of a basketball, and it's just like, man, that thing was just because it's going so fast, and it's just it's just.
And why do all Russians have cameras in their cars?
They do, don't they? Do you ever get on YouTube
Yeah.
and watch those things and
They're
they beat the hell
all
out of
Russians,
each
and
other?
They all got cameras in their cars. Every single one of them.
Now, here's another kind of scary thing that's going on right now. We're just going to. We had this great conversation. That's why I wanted to save this stuff for last. It's flu season going on. CDC came out with this big warning about these untreatable bugs now. And one of the starts, they had the Ebola going around Europe now. It's starting back up again. And
was that was
they had
Switzerland, right?
I believe it, or maybe Sweden. No, that was my boot on the chair.
Hey, that wasn't me,
It was
man.
either Sweden or Switzerland.
One
I
of
can't
those S
remember.
countries.
Yeah, one of the S countries. But anyway, the crazy thing right now, when they talk about this Ebola breakout, it's maybe like 12 to 20 people. Well, and that doesn't seem like a lot, but that stuff can spread like wildfire. And what are you going to do about it? You're not going to do anything about it. You know, that's the scary thing. It had West Africa had it. Now it's starting to creep into Europe. It was in the United States. They said they were contained in New York for a couple people that were flying back and forth. Okay, it's just a matter of time. The writing's on the wall from where this is going to break out. It's just going to be a matter of time now. All for 48 years of my life, never heard about Ebola. Next thing you know, it's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now listen to this junk. They were doing this surgery. For whatever reason, people are going down to Tijuana, Mexico, to have stomach surgery.
Why stomach surgery?
No,
Why in
Actually,
Tijuana?
they are.
Yeah, and I'm guessing. I don't know why. I mean, do they not have health insurance? That they say, listen, we could go down to Tijuana. And
I think it's because of the price.
Yeah,
oh,
cheaper,
sure it is.
Now, you said is it that like that gastric bypass surgery?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Or
kind of.
just,
You
know,
know,
just-
Well, the problem is there were 12 people in the United States that came back, and they started having these problems. They went to the hospital. Turns out they had this, I don't know, how do you say it, pseudomonas? How do you say the word?
Pseudomonas.
Pseudomonas bacteria. Well, that's untreatable. Can't treat it. There's nothing you can do. They have nothing. It's resilient, and it happens so fast.
Because of the surgery, they got some kind of infection, pseudomonas. Put those
Pseudomonas.
Well, yeah.
right. I mean, they had to get it from the surgery, right?
Well, that was part of the thing because however, who knows how they got it, but it was a result of this surgery.
Oh, it had to be, yeah.
Okay, so they come back. Oh, now all of a sudden they're in the United States spreading this Pseudomonas bacteria. Well, they're not really spreading it because it kind of contains itself. The issue is it's not treatable. There is nothing there to treat it. Going back to the Ebola thing, listen, that wiped out half of Europe at one time, and then so. I'm thinking this. I'm thinking everything that we do in this society, one thing that we're not doing is
Washing our hands.
No, well, no. I mean, that might be true, but I think
That is true.
But I think we're doing it. I think we're too clean because one thing we're not doing is helping our immune system.
Yeah, that's most definitely.
I personally think that we are not helping our immune system because we put all this alcohol in our hands. We're not doing anything for our body to fight off the small stuff. We're always taking drugs for something. If we don't feel good, we're
Don't
taking
get me
drugs.
started.
You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything for your
Overusing
body to do it.
antibiotics.
Now you
overusing
have
all
to.
that.
I understand. If you don't want the flu, you get the flu shot, or if you have a sore throat, you take antibiotics to get over it quicker.
No, you don't take antibiotics.
Not for the
what?
flu. Not for the flu.
No, I'm talking if you have a sore throat. I said,
No, you don't take it. If you have strep throat, yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay, well, that's a
it's
sore
about-
throat,
yeah,
right?
same
Okay,
difference.
good. So anyhow,
I have a sore
That's-
throat right
that's
now,
different.
but it's not strep throat.
but what I'm saying is a lot of people do. And then a lot of people get to the
Yeah,
point
that's
of
where
they
you get overusing them.
Oh, you're talking about in general.
in mass
Okay.
general, and that's how these bugs come
general,
about because you take this bug, they take this antibiotic, somehow it survives because they don't kill it off. It
And then
spreads,
they
it
and then they
mutates.
evolve. The virus
Yes.
will
Well,
evolve to
That's
or the
what's-
bacteria.
That's
Or bacteria.
actually what's causing the bacteria, the bacterial resistant to antibiotics is from people that takes prolonged antibiotics over the course of their life. that aren't necessary. And then your body becomes immune to them. And then when you do get that bug, the antibiotic can't fight it. So
Right. Now, what I'm saying is,
aliens
is that we're
I know, aliens.
What I'm saying is, we're not doing our bodies any favors because we're not letting our bodies fight off even cold viruses or like whatever it might be. You know what I mean? From somebody else. Like Jimmy has a runny nose. He touches a bottle. Back in the day, you never wash your hands. You get it? I'll give you a prime example. Chicken pox. When I was a kid, if one of your neighbors had chicken pox, your parents would say, go down the street and play with them so you could get chicken pox and knock it out.
I don't think my parents ever said that.
No. Oh, no, most certainly. No, they did. Did they not?
Yes, they did.
Yes, they don't remember. But you would go knock it out.
I was about 5 years old.
Yeah, you'd be better off just getting younger days.
Yeah, and knock it out. And you would just go and knock it out.
Once you get it, you don't get it.
You don't get it.
Right. You might get shingles, but you don't get chicken pox anymore.
Exactly.
Right? But you would always want to knock this out quick. Well, now they have a vaccine for it. Okay, so you
don't want to do that with smallpox.
You don't want to get the chicken pox as an adult, do you? I've heard that's bad.
No.
Well, you don't want to get shingles either. You don't want to get any of that stuff. But my thing is, if you would go back, so what happens when something evolves? You know, like everything is evolving. Measles outbreak. Measles is huge right now. Where in New York City for one. Measles is making a comeback. I thought you had immunizations or vaccines for measles.
Well, you have all these anti-vaxxers out there now.
We did at our generation. We did. Well, all of our generations did.
Yeah.
For our ages.
But these new kids, like they're not getting the measles vaccine.
Kids on the block.
There's a lot of people that protest.
Well, there's
vaccines now, dude.
Yeah,
I understand.
Autism.
I understand. Yeah, I know.
So they're not vaccinating their children.
But if you elect to get your child vaccinated, I'm assuming that measles is probably in that.
Here's the thing.
A lot of, I hate to say this word. You have a lot of illegal immigrants that are coming over.
You can say it because they're all illegal and they're climbing the fence.
Illegal, I don't know, but they're not vaccinated properly.
Oh, so then you got that.
Actually, when I not naturalized, but if you people are legally documented, we have to take a medical exam.
Well, see, that's what I was. Yeah. That's why I said illegal.
So when you came over to the United States, you actually had to go through a medical exam.
And then I had to turn a picture of my own lung, X-ray films. I have to turn them in.
And I'm sure they check your titers to see if you have immunity, and if not, you get the vaccine.
I put new tires on my
That's why I said illegal. Because
I need new tires.
Yeah, we go through.
So what would happen? Say if you came, if you were coming over to the United States and you had, I don't know, tuberculosis. Would they tell you to go back?
We're supposed to declare any background of medical histories.
Yeah.
Or at least quarantine you, right, until they can be treated.
I don't know. Whose responsibility is that? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. By that time, you're on the plane with somebody else. So if they can get through, you're already at the gate. You've already spread it. So you see what I mean? It's kind of.
But yeah, I started reading one book about the immune system.
Yeah.
They said that this doctor who wrote the book, he said that the problem is not only is vaccinations. People are so used to getting vaccination and then all those virus resistance body, but our own eating habits causing our problem too.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
My eating habit
fast food
making me fat.
Yeah, so they said that's.
But I mean, if you think about it, you're not letting your immune system do its job. You're robbing it of it becoming stronger by being exposed to all this. The little stuff, so it can do its job.
Well, let me add, this is going to be this is going to be very insensitive as empathy goes, but as far as a human race thing, it's going to be completely different. In nature, the strong survive. Right. So, how many people do you know on this planet right now, genetically for one reason or another, if it wasn't for medicine, would be dead through nature? I bet probably a lot.
80%.
A lot.
Okay, so if but you have this morality part. So I'm not, I'm just saying. So the strong, as far as human beings, they do not. Everybody survives now. So you keep spreading those particular genes, and you're spreading those particular genes. So when we have to rely more on drugs, and you have to rely more on drugs. So at one point, something's going to come, and it's going to be relatively simple because we're not going to have the immune system to fight it off. That's going to wipe us all out. And it'll be something so simple, just like it was with the Ebola back there in the what was that when they hit the Europe Dark Ages? No, in the Dark Ages, Middle Ages.
Yeah. Ebola.
Black Death.
You're talking that wasn't
the
Ebola.
plague.
That was
the plague. Yeah. Dark Ages. Was it the Dark Ages?
I think that's probably why they called it the Dark Ages.
No, they called it the Dark Ages because Rome fell and
because they didn't have any lights.
No, well, they actually kind of you're actually kind of right because the Romans actually did everything for the Gauls and the Germains that that they had control of, and the over at the Brits. Then when they had to pull back, those people didn't know how to do bridges. They didn't know how to do the roads. They didn't know how to do aqueducts. So it kind of went to the Dark Ages. They didn't know. They were uneducated.
Those Romans were. You're big on that, right? I know
Yeah, I
you're big
love
on
it.
Roman history.
Yeah.
Hardcore history with Dan Carlin, man. Check
he's
that
good
guy
too.
out.
Yeah.
But that's kind of interesting. That's something to think about, though, is that how much, we'll be long dead before any of this stuff, and so I'm almost happy that an asteroid's going to come down
Mother
and get us
Nature will put
tomorrow.
her foot down. 'Cause
Yeah.
You can't trick that woman.
But it is kind of scary to think that because medicine only goes, as far as medicine goes now, it's all based upon profit. That's why you don't have a lot of antibiotics, because there's no money in it. They go about the viral things or the kind of crazy treatments, cancer especially. They come out with these cancer drugs because there's thousands, if not millions and millions of dollars that they can make off of that. You're not going to make any money off.
There's no money in cures.
Well,
Yeah,
'cause
no shit.
You're not going to be a repeat customer, or
There's
they
money in
need repeat
treating
customers.
disease.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Money in treatment, no money in cures. Hey, you know what? I'm going to put that on my slogan when I run for president.
I think you ought to. I'd vote
You
for
know,
you.
we missed a big comment. It was Wayne Worth. He said he's not worried about any asteroid hitting the Earth.
Why is he
because
not?
as long as Vaughn Haggerty is breathing, he'll take care of it.
Yeah, Vaughn Haggerty, baby.
You'll check out Vaughn Haggerty this weekend at the Millen Arena. He's giving out free vaccinations for the flu, gonorrhea. Haggerty. He's going to sing Pantera, Metallica. It's Vaughn Haggerty. The guy makes microwave popcorn by rubbing his hands together. He likes to drive monster trucks. He puts his own asteroid in his anus. It's Vaughn Haggerty. You can get all your tickets now at Ticketmakers. Call 681-222-7446. And he's also watching Bird Box because he is the box. It's Vaughn Haggerty. He eats birds. Vaughn Haggerty. Wait.
For those of you that don't know, Vaughn Haggerty is a local legend here.
Yeah, Vaughn Haggerty's a local legend.
You know what? If Vaughn Haggerty's such a legend,
Oh, that picture of him.
if he's such a legend, how come he's never been in this studio?
I know. I've tried to get Vaughn Haggerty on here 1,000 times, and we've all tried. Wayne has tried. Jimmy has tried. D-Mac has tried. Darren has tried. Todd has tried.
Yeah, he's like a mystery man.
Bruce kidnapped him one time, put him back in the van.
No, he didn't.
Chad was driving a truck. Vaughn cut out and broke loose, and somehow we never saw him again. It's like Sasquatch.
And my truck hasn't drove right since.
I know, right? It's quite bizarre. But that was Vaughn Haggerty, and the reason we love Vaughn, because, well, he's a nice guy, first of all. But he has a name. That name, Vaughn Haggerty.
Yeah.
That's what kind of is catchy. I will never have a cool name like Vaughn Haggerty. He should either be a Viking, like Darren.
Viking.
If Darren had a name like Vaughn Haggerty, he'd be legit.
Oh, yeah.
Viking dude. He said it's Darren Hardman. He's Darren Hardman in a Viking's body. Woo, scary. You take Darren's body and you call him Vaughn Haggerty. Look the hell out, because he's walking down the street with a sword and a metal helmet on his head. You know what I mean? He's going crazy ass. He's either that. He's either like a strip king or like a Russian mobster or a strip club owner.
What was that cartoon back in the funny days? Hagar the Horrible.
That was you, man. That was you.
Sounds like he belongs part of a rock band.
I like that.
Yeah. Shoo. Boy, that took a lot out of me there. Okay. Anyway, it's been about an hour, I think. You guys want to go and eat some spaghetti? Michelle made spaghetti for dinner tonight. She likes to call it pasta. I like to call it spaghetti because you know what it is? It's spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
It's also pasta, Chuck.
Well,
1
pasta
hour.
could be anything.
Pasta could be like...
But I don't always make spaghetti noodles. Sometimes I make like
Penne.
rotini noodles.
Yeah, but
Listen,
is it
yeah,
just
penne
standard red
or-
sauce?
She puts, it's marinara with
It's
meatballs.
spaghetti.
Yeah.
It's spaghetti.
Yeah. Let me ask
But
you a
what
question.
if my noodles aren't spaghetti?
Well,
Doesn't matter. It's still
What if
spaghetti.
they're shells?
What if there's a little bow tie pasta?
Well, yeah. What if they're bow ties?
What if my noodle's not spaghetti?
What if your
Inquire
spaghetti's a
mind.
noodle?
Then what do you call it?
You know, one noodle that I cannot eat. Well, actually, I'll
That's
take it
just
back.
because you can't reach it with your mouth.
One angel hair. Two times. Shut. So, angel hair. I despise angel hair. With
Just because
passion.
it says hair?
It's just a thinner.
Yeah.
Don't you go there, Jim.
Don't.
Don't go there, Jim.
Yeah, that was pretty
I can
quick.
eat an
there,
angel,
Jim.
just not angel hair.
Yeah, don't go there.
Okay, that's number one.
Toenails. And
Shut up, Chuck. You better change the subject, Rogan.
Stop.
No.
Immediate reaction, man.
All right,
As
listen.
soon as he's
Those new people, he has a terrible gag reflex.
And number 2, linguine
That's another
noodles.
reason why you can't eat.
No, I like linguine.
Now, linguine noodles, the reason I don't like linguine noodles, it reminds me too much of what a tapeworm looks like. And I don't want to eat that. I mean, I'm like looking at it, I'm like, that's a tapeworm, man. I don't want that junk. What are these tallies thinking? Tapeworm. I don't want that. Put some red sauce on it so it looks like it just comes out of my ass.
Chad ain't done yet.
No, Chad is absolutely done. Chad is absolutely done.
The only time I ever have a problem eating spaghetti is no lie is after hunting season.
Why?
It's
After gutting a deer?
After you gut a deer and you see everything, it's just like nah. For about
I'm eating a sandwich while I'm gutting a deer.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, you throw me a sandwich while I'm
hand in
doing it,
there.
I'm fine. You know, but to sit down at the table and eat spaghetti after that,
Can't do it.
See, I start acting like Chuck.
Really?
For about a month.
Wow.
Has no lie for about a month. And I tell you what it is. It brings back the smell.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh. The smell was the only thing that I ever...
Smell that. Tell us what Jimmy ate for dinner.
Smells like you've had some chicken, or is that cock? I can't tell. It's either the male or the female. I don't know. You tell me. Jimmy, we want to know. Did you have the female or the male chicken tonight? The rooster. I meant, what did I say? I said cock. I meant to say rooster.
No, you meant to say cock.
Same thing. Rooster breath.
Any cockle-doo.
All right.
Chris Musgrove
family
jumped on
show.
here. Chris Musgrove jumped on here. So
Hello,
say hi to
Chris.
Chris. What's up?
But anyway.
Too bad it's over.
Yeah, sorry you missed it.
Yeah, we've already talked about the world coming to an end and how we're going to die either from an asteroid or from some kind of a disease. Chuck's conspiracy theory about taking vaccinations, even though we know they're good for you. I just like to somehow
I think it's gonna bacteria spread.
It's going to be a bug.
Yeah, it will be. Either that or it's going to be something
or
with
the
bird
government
box.
shutdown.
Or the government shutdown.
Yeah.
Look the hell out. You know what? It would be kind of nice to have a purge day. You know what I mean? Say, listen, the government shut down. All the government shut down. Go ahead and get what you want. You got 24 hours.
I'm going to go on record by saying this. I think we're in a 5-year window.
Well, I'll tell you what. If there was ever a purge when shit broke down, I wouldn't go to the grocery store. I wouldn't go get gasoline. My ass is headed to Radio Shack because I want some mixers and those cool lights and that hard helmet that they have. I want some cool stuff. I'll never spend money on that stuff, but my ass is going to Radio Shack and I'm going to get some transistor radio stuff because they had all that stuff that nobody ever bought. I'm thinking that must be good because they stocked it, right?
I can see it now. You're going to be one of the guys in the purge walking down the street with a freaking one of them battery-powered disco lights on your head.
Guarantee it. And a 75-inch television set. Like I'm going to be able to watch that thing.
I've never seen that movie. Want to see it? The Purge.
What?
Never
There's
seen
like
it.
3
What
of
is
them.
wrong with you?
Yeah, never seen it. I
There's
want
3
to.
of them.
Well, I want to see the first one. I don't know if I care about the other 2.
Oh, no, they're all good.
Or are they?
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of times, you know.
Yeah,
I
hate
think,
to say
well,
this.
wait, I think
I'm
there's
in the
4
same
now.
category with Todd. I've
I think
never
there's
actually
4.
I
seen
haven't
that.
either.
But Purge election year,
Nope.
Purge election year was so. I mean, it was so stupid. It's good. It's one of those movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll tell you. Let me tell you a movie.
But they had too much of that. That all the racial stuff in it. You know what I'm saying? There's too much of that in there. That's the only one.
Is there a lot of violence though? Is there a lot of good
Oh,
stuff?
yeah.
Is there?
Oh, there's crazy violence.
Now I'll tell you what. A movie that I could barely stomach the first one. I'll never even try to watch any of the other ones. Is that Centipede flick?
Oh yeah.
Human Centipede.
Yeah.
Nah, listen.
How are you talking about that
Listen.
movie without gagging?
Now, see, some things make me gag, some things don't. The Human Centipede movie. Listen,
I watched.
I don't know why I turned. I was like,
Having
can't
your
do
mouth
it.
sewn to
Can't do it.
doesn't bother you.
No.
I watched the first one. I could not get through the second one. I
See, I
thought
wouldn't
the
even
second
try.
one
I haven't
was
even seen
wor-
the second one.
The second one I think is worse than
Shock
the
value.
first one.
It's just all
Yeah,
The
shock.
that's
first
what it
one
is.
actually made a decent movie, even though it was like kind of gross. It still made a decent movie.
The second one's
It
just
was
all shock
actually a
factor.
good
wasn't it?
storyline. Yeah, the second one
Yeah.
was like you said, it was all shock factor.
Yeah,
big time. And I couldn't do
Never
it.
seen either one of them.
Yeah, we're not going
Well,
to
don't.
ever
Yeah.
worry
Well,
about it.
don't.
Check it out.
When we get done,
Jimmy.
when we get done recording here, we'll just give you
The
a little.
Human Centipede, what it's about, it was in 1980s New York. And the guy, you know the worm that they did the breakdancing move? It's sort of like that, except the guy scoots across the rug like a centipede. It's kind of bizarre looking.
That's
And
not
it-
even
it-
close.
and he-
Did
and
he have
Not
extra
even close.
legs?
Yeah, he was a
even-
mutant.
Not even close.
Not even
Yeah.
close. No.
No,
no word
you
for it.
guys confused me.
It's about a psycho doctor, yeah.
Yeah.
He wants to perform these.
I never know who to
I don't even
believe
think
in this
psychos
room.
I'm just trying to protect you. I'm trying to keep you innocent, Michelle. You can tell who's not.
Well, it looks like on Facebook here, Darren Harbin joined. I think that's freaking great.
All right,
I restarted.
Yeah.
Listen, that was the show. We'll be back next week. Don't forget, on the 26th, we're going to have Melissa Rector from Philadelphia in town with the Koresh Dance Company. She's going to be performing at the Robinson Grand Theater, the entire dance company, or part of the. I don't know how. I never did ask her.
We'll put that.
We
put it up on your website
Yeah,
before,
so check
but
that
we'll
out.
We'll share it again.
Also, next weekend, next Saturday, is the Child Advocacy Office in Marion County. They're going to have their gala. So, do you say gala or gala? Or
gala.
You say potato.
Gala. Yeah, I've heard it both ways.
Say veteran.
Veteran.
Potato.
I'm a veteran.
Potato.
VETRIN. And I was also a Marine. Muscles all required. Intelligence not expected.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that, boy? What do you think about them apples?
That was pretty good. No, give him that.
Wait a minute. What was he? Army? Ain't ready to be a Marine yet?
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, listen. Until next week, on behalf of Chap Puccio from Monongah, we had the lovely and talented woodchopper down from Webster Springs, Webster County, Michelle Rogan, over on the director's seat. We have the one and the only D, Darren Harbin, straight from Tokyo, Japan, Bruce Takahashi from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Jimmy Wiz, who's kind of a little upset now that the Pittsburgh Steelers are watching, the
Shut
Patriots.
your mouth.
Okay.
And it's over.
At least you had the Penguins. And we also have from Ohio, from where else did you live? Buckeye from
Buckeye
over,
State.
and where else were you live at? In Lumberport? You lived up
That's
there.
it. That's it. That's
out
the
there in
only
Taylor-
two places.
out there past Flemington. Flemington. Is that
Oh,
where-
yeah. Well, we called it Bridgeport.
Yeah, Bridgeport.
We got to stay in Bridgeport.
Listen,
My mailing address was Bridgeport.
The best friend a guy could have, the Chewbacca of the show, ladies and gentlemen, Todd Captain Earl Beck. Hey, until next week, be listening. Don't forget the podcast will open up tomorrow on SoundCloud, iTunes, anywhere you can get that stuff. Go ahead and subscribe, like it, and share.
Get it,
and then every Sunday, give or take
it before it's going.
7 or 7:15 or something like that, we do this broadcast
Right
on
now,
YouTube and on Facebook. Ladies and gentlemen, until next week, you have been listening to Rogan Radio.
Later.